Welcome, y'all, to You're Not Alone podcast, hosted by yours truly, Mbot, making beauty out of testimony. The purpose of this podcast is to do life together, to remind each other that we are not alone in our darkness. Elohim Yeshua is the light that frees us from the dark places. Isaiah 41:10, do not fear, for I am with you. Okay, y'all, I'm going to tell you a little bit about myself. I'm married with 2 kids. My oldest is a boy, and he's 9, and my youngest is a girl, and she's 6. So yes, I understand what it's like. I understand what you're going through as a father. I understand what you're going through in relationships as a married person. And yes, I understand the struggles that it takes to be a man, to want to pour out to your wife when you get home, even after a long day, to pour out into your children, and then to ask yourself, who's pouring out into me? So yes, I understand, and you are not alone in this feeling. Even if you are not relating to this in particular, I guarantee 100% that there is not a feeling that I cannot relate to at this moment. Y'all, I'm going to keep it 100 with you. Even if you're tired, so even for me, for an example, at work, I'll be working overnights, okay? And trying to work overnights and raise a family and have a marriage and have a working relationship with your wife and your kids is hard. It's hard to find the balance between getting sleep and being there and being all you can be for the ones you love. And then on top of that, at my job, they're going through a whole bunch of changes right now, and they just keep switching our times up, and it's very frustrating. It's very hard to get by. And you might be going through something too, whether it's a past trauma. I've been there too. My past traumas, I deal with anxiety, I deal with depression, I deal with darkness, I deal with feeling isolated and feeling alone. And we're going to kind of touch on that today too. We're going to touch on those isolating feelings, those lies that you hear, that you tell yourself too, that I'm alone and no one understands how I feel. No one understands me. No one can even feel or can comprehend the amount of pain that I'm going through right now. No one knows this kind of sorrow. I'm here to tell you that you're not alone. I'm here to tell you that's a lie. You are not alone. And if you're feeling this, then come on, join the You're Not Alone family, okay? We're going to meet. We're going to meet weekly, and we're going to talk. We're going to do life together, okay? We're going to do life together. You might also be asking yourself, making beauty out of testimony? It's hard to look at mistakes and shortcomings, even failure, and think, wow, now that's a beautiful story. No, we want success stories, but I propose this. Yeah, you messed up again. I messed up again, reached out and did what I wasn't supposed to do. Time and time again, yeah, I'm supposed to make beauty out of testimony. Yeah, right, I'm a fraud. You're the one who makes beauty out of my testimony. Yahweh makes beauty out of it. Because I live for you, the author of my life, creator of my story. That's Yahweh. That's God, y'all. You point to the beauty and turn this pile of trash into treasure. Because my identity was never how I saw myself or what I do or who I am. Because I don't exist without you, Yahweh. From the ground I was formed, and back to the ground I go. But in you I have life. In you I'm created to be a child of the Most High, a high-maintenance child of the great I Am. And to see the real beauty is you, Yahweh. And because of you, I have a story. And because of you, it's a beautiful story. A love story full of highs and lows. When I'm low, I reach out my hand up high for help, and you stretch out your hand down to carry me up and remind me the story isn't over just because I feel it is or just because I failed. I can't even tell you how many times that when I feel this darkness, and others may relate to, I go to addictions. I go to either overeating or consuming different things or finding different addictions to place my time into instead of where I should be placing it. I spend that time in that darkness, and that time just isolating myself from everyone and from the most important thing from Yahweh, from Yeshua. And y'all, it's numbing to be in that place. It's numbing to try to ask for vulnerability. But this is what I'm trying to say, and this is why I call myself Mbot. This is why Adonai revealed to me that it's making beauty out of testimony. Testimony is your story that you can share, and there's beauty in it. I know it's hard to see it at first, okay? It's hard to see it at first, but hear this out too. Isaiah 41:10 says, "Do not fear, for I am with you. Do not look around, for I am your Elohim. I shall fortify you. I shall also help you. I shall also uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness." Y'all, this is actually in Isaiah. This comes from a time when the Assyrians were going to come at Judah, and they were going to tell them that Yahweh said that they can be destroyed. You know, that Yahweh told them that they're destroyed and they should give up. They should feed into their darkness. They should feed into their fears. They should just give up because there's no point in going on. When I read this story, I was blown away. Like, it started in Isaiah 36, and it talks about that, and it talks about the Assyrians just approaching Judah and talking all this crap, and I'm like, wait, what? This is in the Bible? That's crazy. Like, it's so relatable too, and it's like, it's just, guys, this is real. These lies and these feelings, and they were like, wait, hold up, guys, no, y'all, we understand Aramaic, okay? So don't be speaking in Hebrew because we don't want everyone else on the wall to be like getting in fear, okay? Like, you know, and they're like, I want everybody to get in fear. Look, the lies that you speak to yourself, the enemy, the people that you allow into your life to speak into your life too, the areas in your life where you're feeling at your lowest, when you feel like you are truly alone, and I'm telling you, that minute, that darkness, when you're allowing others to define yourself, when you're allowing yourself, when you start speaking them thoughts and you're just like, look, I'm afraid, I'm alone, I feel like the whole world is on my shoulders, I feel like I am doing this life alone and not a single person can understand. That is so isolating, y'all. That is so isolating, and that's the point of it. To stay isolated in your feelings, to stay isolated away from society, to keep you down and out. That's our reflex. That's not the way we were intended to be. We were not ever intended to walk this world alone. We were intended to walk hand in hand with Yahweh. We were never intended to do this life alone. And then he said, it is not good for man to be alone. So he gave him a woman. He gave him community as well. So y'all, we were not meant to feel alone, to feel isolated. We're not meant to feel alone away from Yeshua. Okay, guys, this is huge. And when I saw that in there, when I realized that where that verse actually came from, Isaiah 41:10, it came from when all of Israel, all those people were believing those lies. They were like, holy crap. Could these people be, these very powerful people are coming at our gates and they're telling us, they're saying that our God, he said, oh, I came to be the destruction. You don't understand. Y'all going down. And they started believing it. And how many times do you start believing the own lies that you start telling yourself? Like, I deserve this. I'm a terrible person. Y'all don't even understand what I've done. You don't even understand who I am. You don't even understand that I can't share with anybody else because nobody understands me. Nobody looks to me. Nobody understands me. I feel alone. I'm here to tell you, you're not alone. You're not alone in those feelings. I'm telling you, man. I've been there. I've felt that. I felt that void. But you're not alone. And for him to tell his people that, for him to say, look, y'all, you're not alone. Do you realize how deep that is? Look, it says, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not look around. So don't look around at your circumstances. Don't look around at your overwhelming thoughts of, oh, I can't pay this bill. I can't do this. I see other people around me. They seem to be succeeding, but what's wrong with me? How come I can't succeed? It says, do not look around. For I am your Elohim. I shall fortify you, so I shall give you what you need. I shall also help you. I shall uphold you with the right hand of my righteousness. Y'all, they were busy looking at how many armies were out there. They were busy looking up the social media on how it affects how many cities they've conquered already. They were looking at everything. They were looking at everything around them instead of looking at above of who is actually there for them and who has never left their side, not even for 1 second. That's where that burst comes around. I've been there so many times, but we don't have to stay in that. We don't have to stay in that, guys. It's so freeing. It's so freeing to realize that you're not alone. It's the most amazing feeling in the world to know that someone else is thinking of you, and that someone else is the Creator, is the one who looked at you and said, it is good. It is finished. I created something beautiful. Yes, this world, our struggles can be very, very painful at times and can be very isolating, and it's really hard to see some beauty in it. But after you start getting some healing and you start looking back and you start practicing gratefulness and you start practicing affirmations, words of affirmations to tell yourself, you start realizing you're like, whoa, there is some beauty in my story. Or you start sharing it with others and others are like, whoa, you had the courage to speak up. I felt that same way, but I could not speak. But to know that I am not alone, to know that I have a Creator who created me, who loves me, and know that I have fellowship with someone else who gets it, to know that I'm truly not alone, it is life-changing. And look, the story continues. The beauty is made known through it, because love is at the helm. What's more beautiful than love? Elohim is love. From 1 John 4:16, and we have known and believed the love that Elohim has for us. Elohim is love, and he who stays in love stays in Elohim, and Elohim in him. The most beautiful story ever told, John 3:16, for Elohim so loved the world that he gave his only brought forth son, so that everyone who believes in him shall not perish, but possess everlasting life. The best example I ever saw of this or heard of this would have to be from a Christian artist, The Rep. Now, this is no paid promoting him or anything, but his song 3:16 by The Rep, it portrayed a father walking down the street with his son, his young son, right? And he saw a stranger walking in the street, ignoring the normal traffic laws, and had the headphones in and couldn't hear the car honking and coming his way, but the car couldn't stop in time. And the man left his boy on the side of the sidewalk, ran out to the street to push this man out of the way, but the truck had swerved to try to miss them and ended up hitting the little boy, killing him. And the man looked up and was like, man, what the heck you doing? And the father just says, look. And he's like, whoa. And then he's like, look. And his son is dead. And he's like, the man with the headphones is like, why did you do that? And the man that pushed him, the father, he goes, because I love you. What the? That, it brought tears to me to see that, because it's like, that's the Father's love, that he didn't want you to stay in this darkness, because of what happened. We get stuck in these darkness, and this darkness overcome us. It's called sin. And it's overcame us too much that we feel isolated and we feel alone, that we are separated from him because of that sin and that darkness. So he's like, look, I'm going to send my son, and it's going to be painful because I'm losing my son, right? But y'all are worth it. You're truly not alone, so I'm going to send him, and he's going to be that light. He's going to be that shepherd. He's going to bring you back home. He's going to make sure you know you are truly not alone. He's going to minister to you when in your darkness, and when you feel totally alone and isolated, he's going to minister to you. And that in that moment, just that word, that person, that father saying, because I love you. Can you believe how freeing, how wonderful that feeling is? Some of y'all need to hear it today, right now. I love you. I love you. That's because I love you. You're not alone because I love you. You may be going through heartbreak right now, but you are not alone because I love you. You may feel totally rejected by others in school or even at the workplace, and you're tired of feeling alone. But guess what? I love you. You're not alone. You may be smack dab in the middle of depression, and you feel like there's no point in going on. But then you hear, look, I love you. Man. Wow. This other tidbit that I think reminds me of beauty and a testimony is, y'all, I'm going to be real with you. I told you I'm a father and I have 2 kids, but that's not 100% true. Because I have 2 more in heaven. We had 2 miscarriages. And with that, I love this symbolic meaning of rainbows, right? Because to me, they represent promise. No matter what you go through in life, after the rain and when the sun shines, which is Yeshua, there is a beautiful promise in the sky. It's almost like a path to a brighter future, but also something beautiful that came from all the pain. Promise for a brighter future, a promise of hope by not flooding the earth again, and sending Yeshua to be that beautiful light that brings us home back to Abba. It's a reminder that Yahweh works everything for your good and that there is truly beauty in your story, your testimony. So now y'all know why I say I'm Mbot. Because he is still working on me, and he's still making beauty out of my testimony. Okay? I have to tell y'all something else too. Okay, now this has, again, not a paid promotion or anything, but I don't know if y'all seen that new movie Thunderbolts. What's it called? The New Avengers. It's on Disney Plus or whatever. Again, no paid promotion, but I don't even know if they realize this. But when I was watching that last night, it's about a man facing his darkness, feeling totally isolated and alone because of childhood trauma, right? And that there's this void in him, right? And the other main character, she has childhood trauma, obviously, and she has a darkness. You know, she lost someone very close to her, and she has a darkness as well. She's feeling that trauma, but her father tells her that, I remember as a child, you had so much light that you were able to go into a room and you were able to cause light to come into that room. It's like when you go into a dark room, right? And you flip on the light switch and boom, there's light. She is that light. It is like the father, like our father Abba, telling his son Yeshua that he is the light, right? And then he comes and ministers. And at the end of the movie, y'all, she comes up to that man that is facing his darkness, that's feeling a void in him. And she tells him, you are not alone. I am here with you. And that's all he needed to hear. And then the light started consuming him. So I'm here to tell you all, you're not alone. Yahweh, your Elohim, he is with you. He loves you. I'm telling you right now, you are not alone. And there's so much power in that. There's so much power in knowing that you're not alone. You're not doing this life alone. We're doing this life together, y'all. serious. And here's another couple verses too. Deuteronomy 31:8. And it is Yahweh who is going before you. He himself is with you. He does not fail you nor forsake you. So that means abandon. He doesn't abandon you. So do not fear nor be discouraged. Now, this is also coming from when Moshe was supposed to lead the Israelites into the promised land. They're supposed to not be suffering no more for 40 years and all that stuff. They were depressed for 40 years. For 40 years, they were depressed. But Moses would lead them in. But Moses like, y'all, look, I can't come in. Okay? I can't. But I'm about to send you Yehoshua. Joshua is going to come in and he's going to take over. Okay? And they're like, wait, hold up. We don't like change. Hold up. We just got used to you. What you talking about? We're going to change now all of a sudden? No. I'm not down with that. I'm told you. I'm being vulnerable with you. I'm told you that I can't do this change. And Yahweh's response to that is like, look, no. It is Yahweh who is going before you, okay? He himself is with you. It's never been about Moshe. It's never been about that relationship you're in currently that failed or whatever it is that's causing this kind of depression or this darkness that you're feeling right now. That's causing this isolated feeling that you're alone. But Yahweh's telling you, no, you're not alone. I go before you. Do not fear nor be discouraged. Okay? He's telling them that ahead of time. That their promise, their hope is on the other side, and he's bringing them to it. He's walking alongside them. Yeshua is walking alongside you to tell you, to hold you and say, look, you're not alone. You're not alone. I love you. Powerful. Another verse, 2 Corinthians 4:8-9. Being hard pressed on every side, but not crushed. It's like that Isaiah 41:10. Remember when I told you in Isaiah 36, when the Assyrians were surrounding them, right? On every side, right? But not crushed. Being perplexed, but not in despair. Being persecuted, but not forsaken. Again, not abandoned. You're not alone. Being thrown down, but not destroyed. Again, even in the first part of that 2 Corinthians 2, it talks about light and darkness as well. It talks about Yeshua being that light that casts out the darkness, being exposed, that light of the world. It's again that room turning on when that light comes on in that dark room. And it suddenly is exposed. These lies are exposed. The lies that you're telling yourself that you're alone, that nobody can understand what you're going through, that nobody understands what it's like. I'm here to tell you, I understand. I'm here to tell you that I get it. I'm here to tell you I have been there. I've come home from work. I've just vegged out and I could not express my feelings, and I just sit there and I self-medicate in ways that are not appropriate. You're not alone in that feeling. You're not alone in those isolating moments where you just feel like darkness just takes over. The weight of the world is on your shoulders. But Yahweh has been ministering to me. Yeshua has been there and telling me that I'm not alone. And it's been so freeing. And I want to share that with y'all. I want to share with you guys that you are not alone. It's huge. And I also hope to bring to y'all guests that will also share their story too, to show that the isolated moments that they felt, that when they in turn looked around and realized that they're not alone either. I'd also like to take some time to share with y'all a poem that I wrote while I was feeling my emotions. I'm the type of person also, I think if you haven't already gotten it from there, is that I tend to hold my stuff in. I tend to just kind of soak it all in, just be like, man, just having a self-pity party, just, let it all consume me. And, me and my wife, we were fighting, and I just couldn't understand, either, with my job or other different things, in my life. And I'm feeling this, man. And I'm just like, there's these feelings, and I'm like, why, woman? Why do you have to come at me? Why can't you just see it from my point of view? Why can't you just give me a break? And I'm just feeling the weight of everything, right? And this is what came up from that. All right. Is there hope for a brighter future? Is there a way to mend my mind, stop the pain, perhaps give the proper suture? It's days like this my mind can't comprehend the travesty set before me, the injustice felt in my heart that no one else can see. Take me back to some better days because the future doesn't seem so bright, covered in clouds that hide the light. Darkness seems to cover the light whole. Even though light seems to fight with all its might, it's just left dull. Searching within to find a spark, anything to help me get out of the dark, a place it seems my mind likes to stay, continually lurking in the state of disarray. It seems like fate would have its way, dismantle the man and leave him astray. But I proclaim this isn't fate. This is all my hurt boiled up into hate. Hate that the future the future appears not to be going my way. Hurt when no one responds to the words I say. But now knowing there's another way to set my sights up high, to tell the darkness goodbye. Restoring my dull light, letting it shine bright. Forgive and move on. Allow the Lord to hold me strong. And if I slip back in my pain and the dark just leaves my light strained, a moment of reflection and a bit of a heart inspection, I come to this conclusion. The darkness I felt never took my light away. It only covered it to make me feel alone today. But I get the final say. I can push it away, forgive and move on, or say goodbye to my freedom. Y'all, we got to forgive. It's one of the most hardest things. But I'm telling you right now, too, that Yahweh, your Elohim, he cares about justice. And he says, let the justice be. Leave it in my hand and I will get you justice. I hope to share some stories on that, too, coming up in the other podcast. But listen, guys, I'm telling you, this line especially, the darkness I felt never took my light away. It only covered it to make me feel alone today. But y'all, you get the final say. I can push it away. I can forgive and move on, or say goodbye to my freedom. I can turn that light on, right? That flip of that switch in that dark room and flip the light switch on and say, oh, goodbye, darkness. I can see now in this dark room. And guess what? That flipping that light switch is that prayer. Is that letting Yahshua come and minister to you. Letting him be that light. Y'all, I encourage y'all to also practice gratitude, practice words of affirmation, positive words of affirmation, and know y'all are truly not alone. It's been such a delight to talk with y'all, and I hope to talk with y'all soon again. Thank you. Have a good night. Again, this was You're Not Alone, hosted by Mbot.